Good evening, dear ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the program Face to Face. Today we all know that we have all busy schedules. We have so many meetings to attend. We have so many phone calls to make. We have so many things to make sure that run in the smooth flow. And there are, fortunately, some technologies are there present thanks to our Mongolian national companies which bring internationally recognized technologies. And today I have a very good news for you that Unitel, one of the Mongolian leading mobile operators, has signed a contract with the international company which is called 7 Networks to bring one of the newest technologies to smoothen our lives. And I would like to introduce you our guest today, Mr. Anssi Kolehmainen from 7 Networks. Thank you very much, and please introduce your company at the beginning.
Thank you, Sainbainu, everyone. 7 Networks is a software company. It's based in Redwood City in California. It was established in 1999, so we've been in a business for quite some time already. And we're basically providing software for operators so that they can provide it to their business and consumer customers. Mm-hmm. So, for example, this Greenberry, what it's called, what we are launching together with Unitel, is a little bit similar type of service than with BlackBerry, but with other kind of devices as well. So, for example, Android Symbian and some J2ME devices.
So I'm a user of Unitel for 5 years. I'm one of the first.
All the time
yes,
that
I'm
they
one
have
of the
been
first customers. And now I'm using BlackBerry. Does it mean that I have to switch and buy a new device, or can I use the current BlackBerry or any other people who are using Galaxy or any other devices?
Well, you can, of course, continue using your BlackBerry. So this is a little bit different segment. BlackBerry typically is for the very top management, and my understanding is that Unitel intends to bring this to the middle management for the corporates, but not only for the corporates, also for the mass market, so that everyday people who do not get this type of service from work could subscribe to it, on their own. So students and normal people like that.
Right. So Mongolian people like a lot the new technologies, and we like to brag what kind of technologies which
I've noticed
we are using.
that.
Yes. So please share about the main benefits which this Greenberry technology is going to bring and how it's going to change our lifestyle and way of doing business.
It's about that, as you mentioned in the beginning on your introduction, that everybody's lives are just getting more and more hectic. So I noticed that you have, for example, here in Ulaanbaatar, a little bit of traffic jam. So imagine that, you're on the passenger seat, your friend is driving, and you can utilize this time when you're there trying to get to the next place wherever you're going. That you can do your emails, chat with your friends in instant messaging, read your work emails and reply, so that once you get there, you've already, basically done a lot of the things that, normally you would have to wait until you're in the office and only then get to do.
So please share then what are the differences between the current technologies which we're using in Mongolia and new technology, Greenberry, which you're bringing to Mongolia?
Your current technology is, very similar to, like mentioned, in with BlackBerry, but also to other devices than BlackBerry. And with, let's say, if you're using some POP email, that means that basically it is polling the information. It's not pushing it instantly to your device. And also this is more secure. It has an AES encryption. Sorry for going a little bit into technical over here.
But it's important to know.
Security nowadays is more and more important,
exactly.
and you get to read it in the newspapers. And also the compression, that it means that you're using less data. So it's, cost efficient to use as well from that perspective.
So your local partner is Unitel.
Yes.
So what has made you choose Unitel as your partner in Mongolia?
Unitel has a very unique and strong position in Mongolian market, being number 2, and also they have very aggressive future plans to grow their market share in Mongolia. And we thought that that suits us very fine, and we are there's a good fit between 7 Networks and Unitel, that we want to support them in their growing business at the moment.
How many countries are you present at the present?
70 countries approximately, so very global.
So what do you think is your value which you bring to those countries that they decide to choose your technology over any other technologies available?
We've been long in the marketplace. We've been proven by majority of the world's top operators that have chosen 7 as their partner. So that's very important. And also we are constantly on the leading edge from the point of view that, for example, now that we are seeing smartphones getting more and more popular, we are developing our next generation products that are utilizing the operator's network in an efficient way, so that they can maybe save from the operational cost, quite some big amount of money as well. So, because the networks, for example, at the moment are suited for the earlier type of usage of mobile phones. But now that everybody is getting these, smartphones, and normal persons are using maybe 8 applications that run on the background. So weather application, they're checking stock exchange. So they all are standalone applications and are utilizing the network. So that is putting a lot of stress to network. So this is something that we're solving, as well as the messaging part, what we're doing at the moment.
Right. So when a new technology comes and being introduced into the market, we Mongolians are very concerned about the prices.
Right.
To some extent, they come a bit costly for regular customers. So at the beginning, they started to be used only by smaller group of people, and then when the price go down, more and wider range of customers start to apply them. So do you have any special strategy in terms of the pricing of this technology with Unitel?
It is bundled in very cost-efficient subscription packages. So that means that the Greenberry service is included in the subscription package, and a certain amount of data. So that should be really available for pretty much everybody.
Great. I see that your company, 7 Network, is located, its headquarters is located in Silicon Valley.
Yes, correct.
And we know that Silicon Valley is heaven for the software companies. So what has made your company, first of all, to establish just 10 years ago, your company, and how you have survived the strong competition in Silicon Valley? What do you think?
Well, I think that, of course, Silicon Valley has a, very strong tradition, for bringing new leading-edge companies and innovations to the world. So clearly there was a need for mobile email, earlier, already, more than 10 years ago. And this was the need that 7 initially started to respond. So of course the technology underneath has been changing constantly, and the ways that whether you're using browser solution, whether it's being pushed directly to your device, that's been constantly on a turmoil. And I think that we have been very good listening to our customers, and we've been very good at moving towards the future trends. So I think those are the kind of key points. And why we have been as successful as we have been.
Right. So listening to you, some of our users might have a question about how Mongolian company Unitel has been able to establish the strategic partnership with your company stationed in the United States. So if you could tell us what makes international companies like yours choose the partners at the local level, not necessarily in the Mongolia, but in other countries, because as you know, in Mongolia, business is now starting up.
Right.
It's been only 20 years since we started to do own private business. So what would be your suggestion? What would be your insight? What the Mongolian company should take into account when partnering or thinking of having partnership with international companies like yours?
Of course, there needs to be a good match on both sides, so that the things that Mongolian companies want to conquer and achieve, whether they're being only on a Mongolian local level or then in a regional level, that there needs to be synergies between the international companies. International companies will need something from the Mongolian company. The Mongolian companies will need something from the international companies. There needs to be good match and good ideas that where are we going together. I think that we are living in a very global world. I'm actually surprised how global place Mongolia already is. So I think you are doing just the correct things, and I recognize many global brands over here, and it seems that the business life is doing very well here in Mongolia.
So there are many Mongolians working around the world in the largest corporations. You name them: Samsung, Microsoft, Mitsubishi, any other companies. Do you have any Mongolians working in your company at the present moment?
At the present moment, I'm not aware of any, but we certainly would welcome some, great new talent from Mongolia to our company as well. That's for sure.
So is your company international or American?
It is international from the point of view that, for example, we have 4 development centers, of course, in the headquarters in Redwood City, but also in Hangzhou, China, in Helsinki, Finland, and Tallinn, Estonia.
From your last name, I understand you are from Northern European part.
That's correct.
Yes. If you could tell about yourself and as a professional, how you have joined the company.
Actually, I joined 10+ years ago, so I've been
from the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much from the beginning. So joined. I was interested in the software industry. And I was in a very, a little bit on the earlier phase of my personal career at the time. I joined as a project manager, and then got more responsibilities, doing some successful projects, and then decided that there was an opportunity to move on to sales, which is great that the companies offer the employees opportunities to grow and to move on to other areas as well. So I really appreciated this fact and moved on to sales, and got certain first sales representative, and then a little bit more area, and then a little bit more again, and now I'm a sales director.
Wonderful.
So.
And could you tell us about doing business in the United States?
Right.
Yes, because you represent those people who come to Mongolia with expertise doing business at international and American markets. So what kind of values, what kind of principles rule the businesses in American markets to make sure that companies survive, which Mongolian companies, newly established or emerging companies, could learn as a best practice? Right.
Of course, U.S. business is very efficient driven. That you have to have the results, and there's always clear indicators that now we need to change something. We need to change it quick. I think that for example, Apple is a good example. That there's a lot of good examples coming from America that you have to react to the market needs, and I think that U.S. companies have always been very good at doing that, and if things are good, they try to keep on improving, but things, if they are not the number one, they always want to be the number one, and they go for that with their full heart. So I think that goes throughout the the whole United States business sector, I would say.
So let's return to the discussions about the new technology. And from the description which is given to me, it says that it keeps users in sync with their personal and business lives.
Right.
So if you could elaborate on that, how, on the basis of the scenario of regular person, how he can combine life and business, which is one of the challenges we are facing here to make sure to keep track. So what your technology, Greenberry, is going to help in this regard?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I can tell, for example, from my personal experience, how it has helped a lot.
Please.
It's, for example, imagine you wake up in the morning, and you know that pretty much the schedule of the day ahead of you, but then in the morning you could quickly check that if there's anything urgent during the evening or very early in the morning arrived, and you can quickly browse through your emails, work emails, and just think, okay, it looks like I thought it's going to be. So no surprises for the day. I know I can take my son to kindergarten and not worry about that. I don't need to rush into anything. I don't need to make any special arrangements. I take my son to kindergarten, go to work, and then when having lunch with friends, for example, I can easily then check my personal emails and communicate that, okay, this evening are we still going to cinema or movies, or has the plan changed? So during your little spots of freedom out of the normal business life, you can then take care very conveniently of personal matters, or when going to work, if you're using public transportation or if you're going with a friend in a car. Of course, it's not recommended to read your emails when you're driving. But,
exactly. Don't try that at home.
Don't try that at home.
Exactly.
No.
So also some people, when they hear about the new technologies,
Yes.
they're thinking about the issue of interoperability with other technologies. In the beginning, you mentioned about Android and other. Would Mongolian customers experience any problems, and they have to go to customer service center of the Unitel, or they can just continue using it with just subscription to the Greenberry technology?
Yes, if they have the the right kind of subscription, then I don't know if that needs to be converted. That that is kind of a local decision that Unitel needs to take, and typically I would say that the normal users would just, if they have the right kind of subscription, then they should be able to use it and download the client or go to Unitel branches and get the service for themselves. So.
Good. As you know, in Mongolia we have other mobile operators, Mobicom, Skytel, G-Mobile. Do you have any plans to expand your partnership with these operators in order to make sure that more customers benefit from the Greenberry technology, or you have exclusive partnership with Unitel?
We have some exclusive partnership at the moment in place, and we have been fully concentrating on the promoting Unitel and getting our strategic partnership going. So we are very much engaged with Unitel at the moment.
And I just recalled your explanation of how it's going to work in terms of current phone devices which we are using, that we don't need to change them. We can use current mobile devices.
Most of them, yes.
And we need just to download specific programs.
Yes.
How it's going to work? Please explain the procedure of the client service and when the technology starts.
Either you go, maybe the easiest way is to go to Unitel branch store and just explain that hey, I saw this great Greenberry, that how does it work? Can I get it from here? And I'm sure there's going to be people to help you out, to get you up and running with the service. So I would recommend that's one way of doing it. Or then you can go to a net site, greenberry.unitel.mn for Mongolia, and put your phone number over there, and you get then a link, and then you just download the client to your phone through that link, and then you're pretty much up and running.
Great. And one concern I have in regards to synchronization of life and business. Usually in our offices we have our own laptops or desktops.
Right.
And then on our Blackberries or smartphones we have different mailing. Or would it be possible to synchronize them so we can access our emails which we have in the laptops and desktops without going to the office, right from your phone?
Yes. Yes, this is exactly, and immediately it's been reflected that what you do on your device, that once you get to office, and then actually you can see the changes, that you have read the emails and responded, then you can already see that your laptop will be then straight away in sync also with your device. So
that's good.
That is one of the benefits.
Oh, that's wonderful. And one more thing, you're talking mainly about the mailing, messaging. What other opportunities, what other benefits we have in terms of synchronizing our laptop and with, for example, my calendar?
Yes, calendar and contacts as well, that is part of this.
Any other options would be available through the Greenberry?
And then
technologies besides what you explained.
And the instant messaging that, you know, that at the moment G-Talk, and we are shortly bringing also Yahoo and possibly MSN Messenger as well.
And of course, right now, the Facebook is very popular in our country.
That is true.
We can find what my friend is doing right now, where he's eating, what he's having meetings. Is it possible as well?
You can get Facebook as well.
There are many technologies available. And then some new company comes. And they say, some company comes, they say, hey, I have new technology, which is so great, so good. What would be the concern we have to take into account when we're switching around these technologies?
When you're switching around the tech, of course, the security, I think, is always something that you have to, you know, pay attention to. So please ensure that, you know, whatever technology you're using, that, you know, security aspects are covered.
Right.
I would say that, you know, especially with companies, that, you know, that should be number one. Of course, on the private life as well, it's important, but especially with companies, because it's company property that, you know, is running, you know, through the devices and laptops and all that.
So you said that your technology is present in 70 countries.
Yes.
So we travel a lot, Mongolians. We have a lot of things to do around the world, and can we use same telephone, same application which we bought from Unitel in other countries?
Yes.
How it works?
So it works basically that, you know, when you go to other country, you can keep on using your Greenberry. Of course, it depends on your subscription as well. But the whole idea over here is that, you know, then you can, because that's especially when you need to be able, when you're in an airport or when you're you know, traveling in a bus to your destination, that, you know, that's especially when you need, you know, your device and being able to connect to this kind of service, that, you know, you can reply to your urgent work emails or say hello to your mother via email or whatever. So you can use it also abroad, and that's one of the greatest benefits as well.
Is it? Thank you very much for introducing the new technology, and I hope it will be very beneficial for the busiest people.
I'm sure it will be. Thank you very much for the interview, and Barla.
Thank you very much. Dear ladies and gentlemen, today our guest was Mr. Anssi Kolehmainen, Sales Director for Asia and the Pacific from the company which is called 7 Networks, which has just signed a contract with the Unitel, one of the leading mobile operators in Mongolia, to introduce a new technology which is called Greenberry, which is hoped to facilitate and smooth our busy lifestyle. I thank you for your time and hope to see you next week.